Hi, is it true that I saw you in the $1 Million Speaker Group for NSA?
In fact, it's true. I am the chair of the $1 Million Speakers Group.
Oh my gosh. How long have you been speaking for?
You don't want to know. That's a very impolite question to ask a lady.
Very different than how old you are, but I'll accept
You
it.
could do the math on that.
I'll accept it. What do people hire you to do? What do people bring you in to speak about?
Well, it has pivoted throughout my career. I used to, according to the bureaus, be one of the top 3 speakers every year in leadership and organizational change. Now I specialize in community banks and transforming them. So I take banks to top 5% performance, and I just started a private equity firm to invest in small community banks and turn them around.
Wow. When you were at your busiest, what was the most amount of speaking engagements you've ever done in 1 year?
147, and that was insane.
And when you were a top leadership speaker, why did people bring you in for leadership? What did you do that other people did not?
My theme was based on my New York Times bestselling book called Thank God It's Monday, How to Build a Workplace You and Your Customers Love. I'm a specialist in performance culture, so I'm a strong believer that everybody has an ethical obligation to stop the whining, stop the gossip, all those dysfunctional behaviors. But beyond that, everybody's got to pay for themselves. And so we did our own research and found that 75% of the population believes they perform in the top 10%. Oops. So that's a big problem. People don't know how they tie to profit, and therefore they're not bringing value into their organization. So they have to breathe life into life and be a good human. And also they have to figure out how to perform and what performance really looks like.
Got it. And when people hire you now, what is the problem that you're solving for them now with the work you do with the banks?
My problem that I help them solve is to take them from sometimes already high performance to like I had a bank that was already in the top 5%. And we have them now in the top 1% of the top 1%. But we also have had some struggling banks that came to us that were about ready to sell, and we now have them in the top 5%. So it's all about getting into the elite of performance.
And if you were starting from scratch today, but you knew everything that you know, but you have zero contacts, zero networks, and no one knows you, what advice would you give yourself to get started in building your career as a speaker?
Dan Burris said it really well years ago. He said, the more you speak, the more you speak. Just get out there and do a lot of it, because it gets you exposed and it gets you good at your craft. And you can't get good at your craft only by studying with others. You have to be on stage, and you got to get the feel for what makes them laugh and what drives the point home and what to do with the guy that's looking sideways over there to get him back in the picture. It takes some time on that stage, and so it's about having time on the stage.
And you have probably seen a lot of speakers, and being in a $1 Million Speaker Group, you've seen a lot yourself. Is there any big mistake that you see speakers making that are starting?
Yeah, sometimes there's a frenetic energy of look at me when they're on this stage, and you can just kind of feel it. And my advice to them is, before I speak, I always go and I center myself in while I powder my nose, and I basically ask for the divine guidance to come through and to whatever words need to come to heal the people in the group on that time. And so to make it about them, because it's really easy. Ego kicks in for all of us, and we want to do well, but we don't do well when we're thinking about ourselves. So it's about really letting ourselves be the vehicle for the transformation in the room.
And if somebody wants to find you or learn more about you and what you're doing, what's the best place to do that?
Emmerichgroup.com is the website we use most often. Probably start there. LinkedIn could be the other place. Roxanne
Awesome.
Emmerich. I'm the only Roxanne Emmerich on the planet, so it's Emmerich. Only one that exists.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your advice. The account is Talkadot, so thank you so much for giving speakers the incredible advice you just did.
Thank you.